Let's go!
So we need to talk about the biggest elephant ever. Devs have been sort of quiet on this patch until just recently, until either this was like yesterday or not that long ago. The devs are doing something. Tekken 8 is going to be going through a change. There's an update that's happening quite literally the day after tomorrow, and there are going to be adjustments made to Tekken 8 Season 2. For anybody that doesn't know what happened, Season 2 happened. We were all kind of excited for it, and it was pretty much, in summary, the opposite of what they were talking about, right? They made a lot of changes that lined up with what they were talking about, but so much of the game changed in a way that did not make any sense, where they would talk about adding defensive abilities and making the game more, you know, quote unquote, playable, removing these kind of crazy interactions. And then all of a sudden it comes out and the game is the most unga bunga ridiculous thing since Tekken 8 Beta 1. So there was a lot of genuine confusion and the community is in absolute shambles. We'll talk about the community a little bit because outside of like, you know, some people acting some very questionable ways in the Tekken community in general, which is just indicative of the way the Tekken community has sort of acted, but this is an extreme. The extremity is met with an extremity. The Tekken 8 Season 2 patch was not what people were expecting, and the community sort of like uproared in the exact same way that this patch was absurd. People are also acting absurd. With that being said, my perspective is that, okay, yeah, this sort of lines up with the Tekken community, but this is a lot. Let's talk about it. So what the hell is going down in Tekken 8 Season 2 adjustments? This is also really important to talk about. The development team acknowledges that the following Season 2 update, the overall game balance shifted too heavily towards offense. Okay, a complete admittance that this shit sucks. We sincerely apologize that the actual balance changes did not align with the development intentions and policy previously communicated to players. This is pretty huge. I kind of want people to recognize how unprecedented this is. And to be real, I think there was also a reason why the Tekken community reacted accordingly or reacted with such extremity. And it's because in the past, the community would potentially say things about things that they are upset about or do not like, and to be sort of met with a response that might not be what they were expecting. At times, it could feel that the Tekken community isn't being listened to. That what are they doing to the game? Why are they doing this? Like all that kind of stuff. That hasn't been from the Tekken 8 Beta 1 to the end of Season 1. Season 2 kick the bucket, right? We're doing all this crazy stuff, doesn't make any sense. But for the lifespan of Tekken 8 pre-Season 2, they were listening. We were moving in a direction that seemed pretty cool before Don't Ask Me for Shit sort of kicked in. So that's sort of like the impression from a lot of the Tekken community that was like, damn, dude, like, whoa, they really don't give a shit what we have to say. Which is why I think there was such an extreme reaction around it. Having a Japanese developer of any kind, not just like a fighting game, like any competitive game, any game in general, having a Japanese developer of some kind straight up go like, our bad, this did not line up, and to be real, we are deeply sorry. This didn't line up with what we wanted and what we communicated. And this is the thing that hits me the most is that, dude, you said the opposite. Acknowledging the fact that they fucked up really hard does not happen very often. They have to specifically, they can't say things anymore because what happened before is that we were like, dude, they're listening, it's going to be great. But then the opposite happened. I don't think the trust from the majority of the community, because I think things are going to be fine and things are going to change, but that's just me being hopeful. I know a lot of the community reads this and goes like, bullshit, I don't believe you, because you got to understand why they are coming from that perspective. So anyway, we deeply regret not being able to address the improvements and adjustments that the community had hoped for. So moving forward, we're committed and distinguishing between issues that can be addressed quickly and issues that require more time with community feedback and proper review. That's good. So no like knee-jerk changes. We will implement a step-by-step update process to improve the game. In this upcoming update, we will fix the known issues and begin a balance review based on the following So this might not be happening just yet, chat. If you want this to be good, this might not be happening. Based on the following policy, patches are scheduled for not that long from now. Like it's the 17th Japan times. Okay, this all seems like good news, but at least with my education of people of how this industry works, I think the hope was that they're just going to revert everything. That doesn't seem like it's going to happen, but the changes that I think most people want to happen are not going to happen in this patch. I don't think so, man. I think you're going to have to wait some time. And it's not going to be like, oh, we have to wait 6 to 8 months. No. I think from the perspective of the developers is that Season 2 should likely be spent spent in its longevity making micro adjustments to turn this game into something that is genuinely fun. Keeps all the interesting intrigue and cool character stuff that season 1 allowed, while also having a bit of competitive integrity that doesn't completely betray what Tekken is at the highest level. That's my assumption before I even read anything. My assumption is that it's going to take time and they're going to do it in chunks. They're going to like attempt things and do it in chunks. And I would not be surprised that this is probably going to be a very tumultuous year for Tekken because they're going to be testing things. This is sort of a growth period for the game, you know? Increasing the maximum health value to help mitigate situations where matches are just over due to one-sided momentum. In light of the current damage environment trending towards inflation, driven by offensive game balance and increased aerial combo damage, the max health value's got to go up. The adjustment is intended to ease situations where matches are too easily decided by one-sided momentum. Right now, the characters have, what, 180 health or some shit? And this probably will put them at 200? And talking to a lot of the Tekken community, the reason why this is not inherently a desirable fix. It doesn't take care of the extremely long combos. It doesn't take care of 15 to 20 second long combos. It doesn't change the overall damage of some characters' combos and stuff, but it has a severe impact on poking, on the damage of pokes and stuff, where the prioritization is going to be in big launchers and the prioritization is going to be in big counter hits. And this feels like an immediate sort of like, oh, let's just try this because this won't have that much of an effect. It's a band-aid over what is effectively a completely giant bleeding out like wound that the game is going through right now. If they do 5 to 10 health, it doesn't really mean much. If they do 20 to 30 to 40, then yeah, it's going to have a pretty big impact. But my dude, if there's like a 50-point health increase like across the board for everyone, holy shit. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't have a history of playing other Tekken games where the health has increased and to see the difference. It happened in Tekken 7, but that's because combos were getting really long and stuff like that. So, okay, that's a choice. I will at least give them the benefit of the doubt. Max, it's not a big deal. It's just Tekken. No, bro, it is. This is the thing that people have put like hundreds of millions of dollars into. Like you, this is your money, okay? This is not a thing that you take lightly. General to high reward moves. Let's go back here. The update addresses the overall attack strength of combos by implementing adjustments that can be done quickly to moves that provide excessive reward. We recognize these as a game-wide issue rather than a character problem, so we plan to continue reviewing and tuning these progressively. That's great. That sounds great, and this will not be entirely fixed. Like, there's too much stuff. You can't just take the frame data down, like, across the board for everything. There are just too many things that leave you way too at advantage to not, like, play test all of that shit. I think some things will be changed here. Obviously, like, the Jack thing is going down, and, you know, maybe some characters with their crazy bullshit. This will take until possibly the end of the year for them to entirely figure this out. Micro changes, yes, exactly. Examples of adjustments: balance adjustments to high performance moves that can be repeatedly create advantageous situations, just mega plus on block homing mids. Adjustment to moves with disproportionately high reward compared to their risk. Yes, the risk reward in Tekken 8 Season 2 was fucked. The risk reward in Tekken 8 Season 1, some characters needed adjustment. I think Fee explained it a really good way. He talked about Tekken 8 Season 1 was like playing a card game. Is it completely controllable? It's not. But it is, with enough knowledge and practice and information, you can do your best to mitigate the risks. You know, you can actually do something about it. In Tekken 8, he compares it just, it's a casino. It's just a slot machine. Like, you just pull the fucking lever and pray to God, you know? You have no impact on what is about to happen next. These things just roll with it, you know? When it eventually gets to the people that are using this shit appropriately. So anyway, rebalancing the offensive and defensive aspects. Currently, the benefited gain from the attacking player through the heat system is considered too great. That is a great thing to identify. The following adjustments have been made. Revised damage scaling when using heat dash to suppress combo damage inflation. Okay, so heat dash combos for, I think, the 3rd or 4th time? We removed 2 heat dashes per combo, then they turned down the damage again, and now they're toning down the damage again. This has been nerfed several times. Now it's being nerfed again, which is a good thing. Adjust the frame advantage on hit for heat engagers, maintaining benefits for the attacker while allowing the defender more opportunities to respond. Well, this is good. I mean, it sounds good until we add 12 more plus on block homing moves and shit, and everyone's very confused. A lot of these things sound good, right? Heat engager was plus 17. It'll probably be plus 10, if not a little bit less than 10. Adjustments made to chip damage. Reduce additional chip damage during heat. Change the system where moves that already dealt chip damage do not do extra chip damage. Yeah, that's a good idea. Future updates will also include adjustments to the amount of chip damage dealt by individual moves. This is a good blanket change for the most part, but yeah, there has to be a surgery done to like every aspect of the game. That goes to every character, how powerful their shit is in heat, how many times do they get to use it, like all of that shit, dude. Season 2 has turned into one of the most frustrating goddamn games to play. Future balance changes. The next update planned for mid-May. Adjustments will include reducing air combo damage and reevaluating the performance of heat burst. This seems weird. I'm just gonna say, as a Tekken casual, 230-hour Tekken guy, it seems odd that we're just gonna increase everybody's health and then also reduce air combo damage. Explain further. So combos are about to do less damage because all combos in this game for the most part are air combos. They're juggles. They're juggles that have multiple tail spins and all this like crazy shit, right? Which is the big thing they did in season 2. Again, there's an issue with the game that talking to Kaizoku Lars about this, and it's like Lars kind of lost his identity because what was Lars in season 1? Season 1 Lars was the combo character. He was the character with the craziest extensions, the most wall carry. That was also his identity in Tekken 7. He likely had some of the craziest, most wild wall carry of everyone in the game. So he kind of kept that. And it's like, oh yeah, his entire thing is that no matter where he gets that touch, he's really good at carrying you from one side of the stage to the other and then optimizing that shit and making sure you get the most damage possible with enough experience, right? What happened in Tekken 8 Season 2? Everybody became Lars. With all these like multiple combo extension tailspins and shit, dude, everybody became Lars. Now, Devil Jin with his back to the wall is hitting you with a hell sweep and it's carrying for a full screen carry wall combo and he's getting like 110 damage. That shit's really weird. So to have them be like, we're just reducing the combo damage and also increasing the health, it's like, so wait a minute, more health, more damage, are rounds just always going to go to 10 seconds? Like, the only thing that leaves me hopeful in these situations from a complete casual perspective is that if there is more health and if there is less air combo damage over time, we are going to spend more time in a match not dealing with heat bullshit, where there might be a little bit more jousting and playing with each other instead of just dealing with each other's heat bullshit and having to manage heat bullshit against heat bullshit. Maybe, like just maybe there's an opportunity for that to happen. We don't know though. We don't know if that's how it's going to feel out. Additionally, we will continue to review issues that could not be addressed in this update, such as moves that consistently create advantageous situations leading to one-sided matches. Yeah, okay. Moving forward, we remain committed to incorporating player feedback and will focus on resolving cases of overly dominant character performance. And dude, this is what was happening in season 1 already. Like, we saw the Victor shit happen. Victor had like a super high win rate in the early season 1. We saw this happening to Dragunov. Like, he was insane and everybody's Dragunov win rate was crazy high. And he toned down several times over the span of like season 1. Like, these things were being worked on. And those are just a couple of examples, dude. The problem is, chat, is that in season 2, the really bad shit is so bad that it almost makes you forget that there is some really good shit in here that should probably stay. I've heard some really good stuff about other characters that did change, but when it comes to everybody across the board, no. Obviously, the sidestepping thing is amazing. To be real, do I want to go back to season 1 without the sidestepping buff? And it's like, dude, I'll take that, but Jesus, man, like, if that shit's gonna feel a lot different because sidestepping feels so much better now. This was what they officially announced and talked about, but I think we also need to go back, address a few things that Harada has been talking about just in general. I retweeted one of them. Why the health increase, damage all around. Oh, yeah. The life bar increase is also one of the measures we have been taking. We have been taking in consideration since the arcade release when we upgraded Dark Resurrection, Bloodline Rebellion, etc. The time of the season update. And of course, completely a part of this, we will also be tuning the parameters of each character. Okay, so that'll be just ongoing. Continuing to revamp the entire game as quickly as possible after this patch, and we'll be updating it consistently, so please wait for more information. This is only part 1. Whatever's happening at the moment is not representative of where the game is going to go. This is going to take time. It is going to be no surprise that a lot of the community, they're probably aware, is going to be big out until they figure shit out. Also, Harada responds, I retweeted this one because this is pretty important. I personally do not think this backlash is at all unjustified. I recognize that it is a natural occurrence and we have no choice but to respond by continuing to update. This is the antithesis of don't ask me for shit. Right. Here's the thing that I'll also say that I think Harada as a developer, even though the don't ask me for shit thing has always been a joke, it's always been a gag, having him in the position that he's in with the responsibility that he has for this franchise for how long he's been in it, I think he's started to see that somewhat damaging messaging comes back. The don't ask me for shit thing is in the same way, like that energy is being responded to by the community right now. At the same point, Harada and Mike Murray have been directly talking about this don't ask me for shit thing for like 6 to 8 months ever since Tekken 8 came out. And they have been saying, they have been trying to clear up that isn't actually like how they feel, even though that's what they are saying. I've actually been talking about like, that was kind of like a joke that maybe got taken like a little too far. They've said this several times in interviews. So right now, that sort of aggression moved to the community, and the community is meeting that aggression back to the Tekken devs. I think the communication from the developers and stuff like that is something that has to be like severely addressed, and how devs are communicating to fans and all that kind of stuff. So to me, this is quite literally an admittance of it. We have to show people instead of just saying it because you're right, you deserve to be mad. The battle team is already developing day and night for the next update. There will be more updates in the future, including parameter adjustments for each character and art. So please wait for more information. Yeah, I could just imagine for the past like week and a half or something like that, that shit has been a fucking madhouse. It's the weirdest patch in fighting game history, man. The positive of this is that they are aware. I would love to be like, trust the devs. I'd be like, just trust them, you know, give them the benefit of the doubt. We kind of did that before, and until they start showing it, I believe that people still have the right to be overtly cautious and upset. Like, I truly feel that way. They created skepticism with what they are saying and what they are actually doing. The only way to alleviate skepticism in a community, or to change the way the community is feeling based on the way they maybe have been treated in the past, is to show it. Is to literally make those changes, come back to not just say things, to actually show the differences. Truly feel, based on the way that this communication is and the way that this communication is, this is not normal, dude. This does not happen in the history of fighting games, much less does not happen on the scale of which this was as much of a disaster as it is this. I truly hope at the end of this entire thing, they put Tifa in the game. Joking, but also not joking.